One of the most common things that ruins a relationship that would have worked out is the fact that people realize they love you a little bit too late. Sometimes they leave you thinking that they don't love you. They treat you thinking that they don't love you. But the reason why is because they do love you, but the feeling of love is suppressed. Why? Because of overexposure, because of our own insecurities, because of our habit of pushing people away. And so a lot of relationships could have worked out if you would have done certain things that made them realize they love you. Sometimes they realize it too late, after they messed up, after they hurt you, after they turned you off, or vice versa. So it isn't just as important to make people fall in love with you, as it's also important to make them realize that they love you. Because that's when they all of a sudden start treating you differently. They realize they have something of value. And that's why absence is so important, because that's the first one, right? Moments of absence will make them realize what's already there. In other words, it's like oxygen, right? It's moments of absence, right? Oxygen is what you need to create a fire. If you need to create a fire, what you need is not to put more material, which in this case are time, more presence. What you need is to give it space, blow on that shit, right? And allow the oxygen to create embers, to create the fire. And the more oxygen it has, the more the fire spreads. And that's the same thing with love. Is that your love might be too overwhelming, right? Your attention might be too overwhelming, and they may have everything that they need for love, right? The material for fire. But because you don't give them space, they never experience that. And they may end up being turned off by your creepy, energy, right? And now we're going to watch a scene from the movie Castaway where Tom Hanks is trying to create fire. And notice how this is a perfect analogy for why creating space allows people to realize that they love you. Watch this, okay? Um, so right now he is trying to make fire, right? Now this is you meet someone. This is when you meet someone you like them. You're like, oh, they're cute, right? They got the space, they have the right material. There's potential here, right? Now, this is the interaction you guys have, right? This is the emotions you guys have. The feelings you guys have for each other. And now this is the time you guys spend together. You guys are going on dates. You guys are feeling each other. You're sensing each other's presence. You're talking. You don't know whether or not they're perfect for each other, but you feel something. You like each other, right? And you feel some chemistry, right? But as soon as you feel chemistry, the first thing you have to do once you feel chemistry is create space. You blow on it, motherfucker, right? You blow. Now the fire is creating. The solution here is not to bother them with your presence, not call them more, see them more. The solution is to see them a little bit less for a short period of time, right? Notice how most of the work was really working. And then right at the end, you pull away, right? Once you feel like they're falling, you give them some space to fall, right? And this space is and that's how the fire is created. Now you're getting married, and now you're getting divorced, people. Yeah, that's right. By the way, if you guys are dating someone and you don't know and you want to make them realize that they love you, or you want to make somebody fall in love, or maybe they're taking you for granted, and you want to apply some of the strategies that I speak in this video, but you don't know how to do it because your situation is unique and different. No, I haven't made a video about your situation. None of my 3,000 videos fit your situation. So because of that, you got to talk to Father Alex. Well, you could do that today by clicking on the description down below where it says work with Father Alex one-on-one. And there you guys will be able to book a one-on-one coaching call with me today, okay? And there you have me on the phone, not an AI, not an assistant from the Philippines, none of that shit. You'll be able, or Mexico, you'll be able to work with me today, okay? I've seen a lot of results, and the beauty about working with me, it's not that you're gonna learn something new, but that you're actually gonna do it because you're paying for it. That's really the key. Like, people actually do what I say. It's like you watch all of these free videos and you didn't do. Now for some reason you pay and now you do it. Well, because that's how people work. All right. So click in the description down below where it says work with me one-on-one, and you will literally have me on the phone today with Father Alex. That's right. Let's continue with the video. So realizing how much they miss the person when they are apart, right? Can be a strong indicator of love. right? And the reason why that works is because love needs space to realize love itself. That's just how it is. Without space, you can never realize how much you value someone. Okay. Um, and usually the way that you do this is why I tell people when you first meet people, see them once a week in the beginning, right? And then slowly ramp it up, right? And then after like a month or two, take a small step back, right? Cancel a few plans here and there, right? Be a little bit more busy at work. What would happen is that the mind will start blaming itself. It's just it becomes insecure, right? And when that happens, all of a sudden they'll start to fantasize about you. And if they actually are in love, they'll notice that the fantasies are just unbelievably strong, strong fantasies with eye contact and a sense of comfort and familiarity, right? It's particularly the strong eye contact part. This part is the indicator that they're falling in love with you. That in your absence, when they start imagining you, they're not just imagining you with the feeling of liking you, right? No, because that energy will create more of like a superficial imagination, right? But when love is fueling the fantasies, which fantasies can only happen in your absence, they'll notice that the fantasies tend to be intimate, more intimate, more eye contact, more touching. Even when they touch you in the fantasies, there's like an electricity to the touching. And that's only fueled by love. And that's when they realize that they love you in your absence. The next strategy is using weakness. Now, this is the thing, okay? Is that we are pretty much essentially turning weakness, or I mean, not weakness, sympathy into love, right? And the reason why it's this, um, people have a desire to help those who are in need, to help those who are weak. And if somebody has some attraction towards you, they find you attractive in any way, shape, or form, you showing weakness, you showing vulnerability, you showing a need to be helped, even crying, people cannot just remain neutral. They can't be impartial to you. They cannot see you and just feel nothing, right? The sadness, the weakness will cause them to want to do things for you, things that they usually wouldn't do on the without it, right? They'll want to help. They'll want to, sorry, people, help, right? And what you and this tends to bond people to you, right? When they see you weak, it'll also tell them how much they like you. Because think about it, right? If somebody sees you cry and still remains neutral, what does that say about how they feel about you? What do you think that says? That's not a good sign, right? So even crying using tears sparingly, right? um, will cause people to feel a sense of sympathy that can potentially turn into love, right? But the problem is that if you cry and they seem annoyed by you, that's a red flag. That says that maybe you play that card too much, that maybe they kind of see through your manipulations if they seem annoyed at your tears. And I've been around people who when they cry, I'm like, oh fuck, here we go again. Here comes the tears, right? So remember, it creates a desire to sympathize, right? So it could turn sadness, depression into love, right? And it's almost like when you see a child who's hurt, a child who needs help, you can't help but feel something when someone is vulnerable. Now, if somebody doesn't give a fuck when you're in a vulnerable state, meaning if they don't react to you, maybe they're a psychopath, sociopath, narcissistic, or they truly just don't like you, or maybe you play that game a little bit too much, okay? Um, so remember, show weakness. And this is why I encourage people, man, don't be afraid to show your emotions, right? You could use your weaknesses, your psychological weaknesses, your vulnerabilities, your situational weakness as a tool for power, right? Now, the problem with this is that some people are really good at this. You know what I'm saying? Like some people are really good at manipulating people. So you'll notice that if somebody's using this to manipulate you, you like a lot of people just cannot stop doing this, so they keep doing the crying strategy, right? So you got to be careful with that. Now the next strategy. Next strategy is moments of conflict, right? Moments of conflict tells people how much they value you. When you're having a conflict with someone, um, your willingness to work it out will indicate to you how much you like someone. Naturally, when there's conflict with people that we don't know too much, we usually don't even bother, and we usually stop interacting with them and we leave them. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? But in relationships, a lot of the times when we encounter conflict, which means disagreements, incompatibility, maybe we don't communicate well, conflict tends to create a fear in people, especially in the first few conflict, because you might think that they might leave you, right? You're afraid that maybe let me put this right here, that if you express your boundaries, they'll leave. But what happens is the opposite. Through conflict, it shows you how much they like you. And if they actually stay, right? If they actually stay and deal with the conflict, to them, it'll create a sense of like, it's almost like a country that's at war. The war actually unites people, right? And the reconciliation process of fighting, disagreeing, going through those uncomfortable conversations, trying to fix it and actually fixing it creates battle scars, like not battle scars, but like morale for an army, like an army that fights together and wins wars, right? An army that fights together and wins wars are more united afterwards, right? And this tends to increase the feeling of love that you guys have for each other, and it tends to reveal to the person how much they love you, right? So conflict will arise in every relationship, and when that happens, you shouldn't run away from it. It is your moment to shine. It is your moment to show the person how much they like you, right? So that's why if somebody's being disrespectful or they do something you don't like, you have to bring it up, because bringing it up will allow them to see and self-reflect and see how much they feel about you. Conflict reveals intense emotions. Conflict reveals emotions that are usually suppressed because of daily habitual seeing you, right? When I see you every day, you grow habitual to life. Like you don't know how miraculous this is until you almost die, and then you realize how intensely psychedelic this experience of living is. But the psychedelic aspect of it is reduced the more we're exposed to reality, and so we tend to get too overexposed with our partners, which is natural. This is how you actually end up loving them. And the way to use what you already have, in other words, the comfort that you develop, is what you use to create the love after conflict. In other words, the comfort, familiarity. I could predict you. Conflict. What the fuck? I can't predict this. I did not see this coming. I want to go back to the comfort that we had. Conflict has resolved. Now we're back together, but I'm happier that you're back, because it's almost like almost dying. You hold on to it more, right? So the comfort, the familiarity, the habitualness of seeing you, the boredom of it, right, is what is used when conflict happens, because then you're gonna realize how beautiful those boring moments were, right? So that's one thing, conflict. The next moments when people realize that they love you is acts of kindness, right? And this is when you give them a gift that they said something a few weeks ago. They like Teletubbies, they like the yellow Teletubby, and then you gave them a gift of a yellow Teletubby, right? Or maybe you know that they like a certain food, specifically type of food, and then a few weeks later you make it for them, right? Or maybe they told you how they wanted to see this movie, and then you bring them that movie with their favorite food and their favorite dinner, right? These things are little moments when people notice that you're paying attention, right? When that you're paying attention to detail, people feel so flattered. 1 second. They feel so flattered that you notice those little details, that they tend to fall in love with you, right? They tend to fall in love when they notice that you like a certain type of food, and for some reason they always have a storage of your favorite type of food. You don't even need to ask, right? Why? Because that's when people start noticing that they don't love you anymore. When you notice that they stop doing the little things, right? Oh my God, they used to bring me that pudding every morning. I never asked for it, but the pudding was always there. And as soon as one day I woke up and the pudding wasn't there, and I realized this relationship could be over. I know it sounds crazy, but the little things it's almost like a regressive action. Be, the school morning effect. That's when your parents make you dinner, when you wake up in the morning and your parents have everything ready for you. They have all of the details, the notes for school, your favorite food, your favorite lunch, a little note for you, or the pencil, or the everything is there. And you feel like almost like a child when you are a child, but it just feels comfortable. You're like, yes. And when we date people, we want to go back to those experiences where our parents gave us everything we need in a detailed way. And one of the ways that people realize they love you is when they notice, they're like, oh my God, my keys are always, just how I always forget my keys. Oh my God, my keys are always there and they know I forget my keys, so they always put it there. And it's like, thank you, I appreciate that, right? The little things, right? But not only the little moments are right. So it's you got to have both. It's not just the little moments, right? You should also pay attention to the big moments too, right? You should not underestimate them. So the big moments are anniversaries, birthdays, special holidays. Those are the moments when people realize how much they love you. So you have to be able to embrace it. Birthday parties, maybe dog's birthday, fucking like a little dog's birthday. That's fucking crazy. I know, right? Crazy to know that, but if you know that, you're gaining some points if they actually like dogs, or a cat if you're a fucking weirdo, right? Now, the next moment is the mornings and the night, right? Usually people realize they love you in the morning, right? Why? Because a lot of times people realize they stop loving you in the morning. There's something about when you wake up that you like, hey, I don't love this person no more. Or when you wake up, I love this person. The morning, going to sleep and waking up does something to your brain where you process information and you realize what you feel about the person, right? Or this usually happens when you usually sleep together and wake up in the morning, where in the morning you wake up, you feel great, you look at them and you realize you love them. Or you go to sleep together, and when you're sleeping, you feel a sense of calmness, a relaxation, and you say to yourself, I like this. And then you realize, oh my God, I really love this person. Okay. Um, so that's something that I noticed. I could be wrong about it, but that's one thing, right? The next one is speaking rationally to them. Now, the reason why speaking rationally is because if somebody loves you and you speak and you make sense to them, they're gonna get pissed off. They're gonna get pissed off and resist. What do I mean? They're with you and you're dating, and you, for example, let's just say you're in freaking Panama and you gotta leave in 2 months, and you're dating this person, and you could tell they're loving you, and you want to make them realize they love you. You just say, I'm leaving in 2 months, for example. I'm leaving in 2 months. I gotta leave in 2 months. You making sense. You saying things that make sense. I gotta leave in 2 months. I may not come back. Right? I gotta go back to work. I got a family, right? The rationality pisses them off. They're like, but why can't you stay? Why can't you do this? Why can't you do that? We got to make it work, right? Or I can't be with you because I'm married. But why can't you leave them? Why can't you leave them? Speaking sense to somebody who's in love causes them to experience a level of cognitive dissonance. I don't know how to spell that, people, so be quiet in the comment section. Dissonance. We gotta fucking Give them a Hooked on Phonics subscription. Shut the fuck up. Give them a Hooked on Phonics, a cognitive dissonance. People, Jesus Christ, cognitive dissonance, and this creates a stress because they're holding two conflicting things in their minds. I want to be with them. I want to be with them forever, but they have to leave, right? And they want to entertain the thoughts of romanticism and being together, but when I tell them the truth, they get pissed off. And this feeling of pissed off, when they calm down, when they relax, when they breathe, when they go back to feeling normal, they'll notice that there's a stronger sensation of love for that person, right? Speaking rationally, hey, look, man, I like you, but we can't be together. I do crack. It's not good for you. I'm not a good influence. Like I live in a crack house. Like, I know you like me, but we can't be together. We're not compatible. That type of shit. When somebody loves you, the love that they have creates such a reaction from them that they say, "Oh my God, like when they told me that, I felt fucking angry. I must love them." Or when you tell them that, their brains creates a fantasy that is fueled by the emotion of love. And remember, like I said, because of this might create fantasies that have a lot of fear, right? When love is the fuel, fantasies are fucking intense, with intensity, eye contact. They have intense colors, but it has like a haziness to it. It's almost like the haziness of this painting that I did, right? Like, they have a haziness, right? But when it's normal, when it's carnal, when it's just sexual, they have like a sharpness to them, right? Like a sharp look to it, right? So this haziness creates intense fantasies that creates an intense reaction out of them, and it could cause them to backward rationalize that they really love you, right? Speaking rationally to people who are in love is they get pissed off when you do that. The next one is making them break their own rules, right? That is the goal. That's the whole goal here. The goal is to make people break their own rules. They don't double text, make them double text. They don't cheat on their girl, make them. Just kidding, right? Um, but the point is that when people don't like you, they follow their rules to the T. Why do you think corruption happens in government, right? Corruption happens in government not because I don't like you. Corruption happens in government because of emotional connections with people causes corruption, right? The emotional connection that you feel with them causes you to make exceptions for them, right? And so that's the corrupting quality we want in our partners, where because of you, they break their own rules. Oh, and again, I don't say this to tell people to cheat. I'm just saying as an example. Oh, you say you don't cheat? If you like me enough, you're gonna leave your man for me, right? It's an example, right? That's actually true, right? Like, people who when they people are looking for someone to break their own rules for. That's how they know they found the one. When they go, when they act crazy, is a sign to people that they found the one. For you, I was able to do this. For you, I did this. For you, I said this. For you, I did. People realize they love you when they notice that they are breaking all of their rules of conduct for you, right? Their masks slip, right? The normal way of conducting themselves go out the window. And the reason why is because it's pleasurable, man. We are tired of putting on a mask. We're tired of the adult exterior, right? We're tired of having to always act rational. The beauty about love and finding someone who we love is that we can act out on our impulses, that we can finally act like animals and be irrational. There is a pleasure in that, right? That's why even people who have like bipolar, a lot of them love when they have manic episodes because there's a certain pleasure in having mania. In fact, some people are genuinely addicted to manic episodes to the point where they actually provoke the manic episodes because there's pleasure in it. And so humans really do love acting irrational out of love, right? They love having to text a lot, having to fight with the person that you like, right? Having arguments, not like toxic, right? They love having to meet them at work because they're not responding to you, hiring the mariachi band so that they could pay attention to you, right? Chasing, breaking Father Alex's rule, right? Doing things that you know that you shouldn't do, giving them a gift in the hopes that maybe they'll pay attention to you, going out of your way for them, even though there's element of stress when you do that. In the moment you're finally acting on your desires, because usually we want to double text, usually we want to tell people go fuck yourself, usually we want to see no my fucking worry, why aren't you responding to me? Oh my fucking god, Father Alex is coming out. I'm kidding, right? And when we get to do that, it feels amazing. It's like getting to fucking punch your boss who's an asshole, right? We have those impulses, we know we can't, we regret doing it, but part of us loves doing it, right? And so that's where we're getting people to break the rules. They feel alive when you give them that opportunity, right? So make them break the rules. You know they don't double text? Make them double text. You know they don't usually call on the phone? Make them call on the phone. I don't give a fuck what rules people tell you that they follow. I don't give a fuck. They say, oh, they never initiate contact. Okay, whatever. Okay, sure, they never initiate contact. Your goal should be to let them initiate contact. How about that? Oh, they never pay for dates. Oh, really? Your goal should be for them to pay for dates. How about that? Oh, they'll never lick my ass. Oh, really? Right? That's not tell people, right? If somebody disrespects you and they want to come back, make them pay a price. Make them pay a price. Oh, they never lick ass? That's your price. Fine. If you want to come back to me, I want to know, make them break their own rules for you. Make them break their own rules for you. If you make them lick your ass because they hurt you, they pulled away, they were being disrespectful, when they lick that ass, they go back home and they have that sweet taste of ass in their mouth and they're looking up in the mirror, they're going to say, I can't believe I did that for that person. And they're going to say, you know what? I must love them. I must love him. I'm removing that part, man. Right? Yeah, that's trifling, bro. That's trifling. I must love him, right? That's what they'll think, right? And that's why you should never just take people back. Make them pay a price. Okay? Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys want to work with me one-on-one, go to mindfulattraction.org, and I'll see you guys later.
So a lot of you guys have been asking me, how can I purchase all of your courses in one go? Well, if you guys want to purchase all of them, you guys can join the Mindful Attraction University, people. Yeah, that's right. And in this, you'll be able to access all of my courses for $3.99. Initially, if you purchase all of my courses, Emotional Mastery, Psychological Game of Attraction, my new course, The Feminine Woman, Natural Chemistry, Charisma Blueprint, Nice Girl, you guys can purchase all of it for $600, but with the bundle deal, you guys can purchase it for $3.99, or you guys can purchase it in 3 easy payments of $125, people. Yeah, that's right. Or you guys can purchase it with the bonuses. So not only do you get the courses, but the bonuses, and that comes down to $7.99, or 4 easy and mindful payments of $199. Now, these bonuses are not regular bonuses. These bonuses are legit, almost like courses within a course, right? So you guys can just click on the description down below and explore the types of bonuses. For example, I have bonuses on how to get over your ex, how to become more creative, how to, especially in the Feminine Woman, I have a bonus about how to penetrate the mind and how to speak in a way that gets people to do what you want them to do. Like, it's honestly one of the craziest sections that I've ever made, because most of these courses, people, I come up with those ideas in meditation retreats. Nobody goes to the extent that I go. I go to meditation retreats to create these courses. There's a 14-day money back guarantee. If you don't like it, just ask me for the money back within 14 days, and I'll give you all the money back. Father Alex has never rejected a money back offer if I offered it. So, and if you guys already purchased one of my courses, for example, and you guys want to get the bonuses while getting a discount, you know what I'm saying? I have discount codes for people who purchase my courses. So if you purchase my courses, just send me a private message. Or if you work with me one-on-one, I'll give you a big discount for the courses. And there I can help all of you guys understand that this is a movement. Most people never knew this type of knowledge before. And I am trying to empower women across the world and liberate them from these negative and one-sided relationships through these courses. So hopefully you guys can spread the message and help other people out. And I'll see you guys inside, or else I'm close to